independent market expert, as well as Kush Bora, who is the founder of kushbora.com. Thank you so much to the both of you, as always, for taking the time, and always a pleasure speaking with you. Kush, I'm going to start with you. How are you seeing, and before we get to the individual questions, how are you seeing the texture of the market as things stand right now? Yesterday and today, seemingly the market is taking a bit of a breather, and maybe this is okay in anticipation of the big event at the end of the week, and they're being a little bit cautious. Is that how you're seeing it, and how would you play the market as things stand right now? Would you be aggressive at the index level, or would you look stock specific?
Hi, Alex. Hi, Shaina. I think, Alex, your question had the answer, in it. So I'm just going to say yes. I'm being cautious, and I'll perhaps move on. But the second part of your question is the more interesting one. How would you position yourself? Yes, I would actually, like we discussed in the yesterday's closing show, I would actually book partial profits on the Nifty, perhaps even on the Bank Nifty. One reason is that we've already seen the Nifty hit our target of 23,800. And we are seeing some sort of resistance. So that's almost about 1,000-point kind of a recovery from the lows that it had recently hit. Secondly, if you see the Bank Nifty, most of the 25 basis point expectation has already been priced in. So unless there is something bumper, in terms of positive news, that alone will not act as a bit of a trigger for the further up move. My bias remains positive on the Nifty. 24,000, 24,200 are the next targets that I'm looking at. On the Bank Nifty, I'm looking at 50,800 and 51,000 kind of levels. But in the very near term, at least just ahead of the event, I would book partial profits and hold the rest of the quantity with tight trailing stop losses in place.
Just a very quick check of how markets are right now, and you've seen some of the major indices on your screen already, but let me drive home the point, right? You started with narrow gains for the Nifty 50. They've given up those gains and currently trading about 0.5% lower from the start, and it's trading cuts of about 0.25%. So not too much to speak of. Remember, that's where we saw yesterday end as well, just about 0.2% in the red. The broader markets have also given up ground. They started positive. The mid-cap index trading with cuts of about 0.33%, and the small cap index just about holding out with about 0.2% in the green. The IT index was up and about in trade today, but it's lost ground since that point. It is trading now just about flat. Even the Pharma index, which was an outperformer at the start of trade, has given up ground and is now trading with gains of only about 0.5%. A few of those names doing particularly well. Abbott was one that I was looking at earlier on in the session. Oil and gas, PSU Bank is a pack that you should watch out for, of course, in trade. Realty and FMCG continue to be beaten down, as has been the case in the last couple of trading sessions, particularly yesterday. But let's start the questions that we have today, and we've got several that have already come through. I will start with a question on Swiggy and Zomato. This is a pair that is in focus today on the back of Swiggy's results. The stock is taking a bit of a battering. I cannot remember the exact issue price, but I won't be surprised if it's actually slipped below that. The stock is trading at 401. Okay, so it's down about 4% or so right now. So Shashwat from Dehradun is holding 150 shares of Swiggy, bought at levels of 474. And you have 100 shares of Zomato as well that he's bought at levels of 275. Is there a possibility of him breaking even or regaining his cost price in 2025? And he's willing to hold for 5 years. What should his perspective be? Shahina, are you positive on this space? Because a lot of people seem to be speaking about the quick commerce space more than the food delivery. And is this what you're looking at as well?
Well, the space is definitely interesting for the very long-term investor. Having said that, I believe there's a lot of competition that is even going to come in going forward. You have, big players like Amazon, Reliance, everybody's coming in a very big way into this space. So what I would say is, if you're, instead of holding two, it's better to just stick on, exit Swiggy and continue to hold Zomato. Swiggy's numbers were pretty disappointing. The losses widened, and I believe Zomato, being it has the first mover advantage. It is also doing pretty well in terms of growth, new additions of this dark stores. So I would stick with Zomato and exit Swiggy.
Okay, stick with Zomato and exit Swiggy is a call from Shahina. I believe we've got a first caller of the day. Murli is calling us from Bengaluru. Murli, good morning. And how can we help you today?
I want to buy RR Cable.
Okay.
Which has come down from a peak of 1,900 to around 1,200.
Yes.
Now,
Yeah.
I want to buy and hold for at least about another 12 to 18 months.
Okay.
Can I go ahead and buy now?
Okay.
Today?
And what is the reason why you like this? This is a company that provides, of course, consumer electrical products in the residential, commercial, and industrial space in wires and
Yes.
cables. So why this company in the space, Murli, and not something else?
So the power sector seems to be not the story of power sector growth is not the economy is growing at 6%. Definitely the power sector should contribute. And number two, Polycab and KE are doing much better prices, ABB Industries and all. This seems to be the worst is over for the company and they are in the start of the growth path. It's what we could hear from the management commentary.
Okay. Okay. So it's basis the valuations that you see compared with the others, you think RR Kabel is more attractively placed. So let me ask Shahina this. If you agree with that, is this a good moment to pick this for the next 12 to 18 months, or is there a better opportunity from your perspective in the same space?
I would agree with the investor. Both the numbers also were pretty good. The commentary also is good. Business opportunity is good. Also, I think in terms of valuation, it is pretty reasonable. Having said that, I would prefer buying it at a slight dip if you're a new investor. Of course, if you're invested, continue to hold. New investor, I would prefer buying it close to about 1,100, which is not too far away from current levels. But I would say wait for a slight dip before buying into the stock, and then you could hold it for the medium to longer term.
Okay. All right. Wait for a dip is the call on RR Kabel, but your thesis seems to be correct, Murli. NMDC is the counter that we're talking about next. It's currently trading just about flat, unchanged at 65 or thereabouts. And we've got Praveen, who's writing in from Andhra Pradesh, who's bought 250 shares at a price of 66.43. It is not too far away from the current market price. And in fact, it is off the 200-day moving average as well, which is very close to that 72 mark. What are the prospects on the upside is the question. Kush, on the charts, how does it look?
Well, Alex, there is a recovery that is being attempted here. If you want to take heart from the fact that the stock is above the 20-day moving average, then yes, that's the first litmus test that the stock has passed, but not completely, because if you see the candle still holds or touches, that the 20-day moving average. I would have loved to have this, clear, complete candle above the 20-day moving average. On the whole, I think the pressure from the near term could persist. The good thing is that the stock is not too far away from the buying price. So what I would do is I would keep a stop loss near the 63 mark. If that is taken out, I think this recovery will fizzle out. But assuming that, the 20-day moving average is held and the stock could actually move higher from here, then I think on the upside, you're looking at levels of 68.5, and once that is taken out, to 71 as well. So continue holding on to this one. Recovery underway. If it does come to pass, then 71, 71.5 are the next levels on the upside that you can aim for.
Okay. All right. Our next caller is Marco, calling in from Chennai. Marco, first of all, love your name, and how can I help you today?
I am holding Gail India shares, 1,100 shares for 172.
Okay.
I would want to know the sell price target for midterm. Can I hold it for midterm, or I thought it will recover, and I bought it before a week?
Yeah. So how do you define the midterm, Marco? Is it less than a year?
Yeah, 1 or 2 months maybe.
1 or 2 months, all right. So that's actually pretty short term if you think about it. But I'm going to go to Kush on the charts. Gail bought at levels of 172. He's in the green just about. What are the prospects for the next 1 to 2 months?
Quite a buy, I must say, quite an aggressive buy. The buying price is phenomenal. So congratulations on that, Marco, because the stock is actually falling for a while now. So to have the right analysis and to buy it at the price which he has takes some courage. So kudos on that. I think the very first thing that he should do is actually place a trailing stop loss just above his buying price. 173.5, 174 thereabouts is where I would place my trailing stop loss. So that would lock in his profit. That's the first thing. Now, to answer his question very specifically as to what is the price at which he should exit, I think with this kind of recovery underway, there is a falling trend line resistance near the 184 mark. So that would be my first target. But I would suggest only a partial profit book once this target is met. Beyond this, the stock could actually rally to 192 as well. So I'm giving you two levels on the upside: 184 for a partial profit book and 192 if 184 is crossed and sustained.
Okay. All right. The next question is from Mohit, one of our old viewers. Mohit, thanks so much for tuning in again. Writing in from Ludhiana. He's bought SAIL at a price of 104, Steel Authority of India Limited. And he's in the green. He's looking to hold this for the next 3 years. The only question mark, Shahina, is the perspective on global prices of metals. Wouldn't you agree? There are question marks about global trade. There are question marks about the implications of tariffs on Chinese growth. We have so many questions that are currently unanswered. So from that perspective, would you be confident in holding a sale for 3 years?
Well, we saw very good numbers coming out of sale in the last quarter. So things have improved for the company per se on a domestic basis. Having said that, I think while if you look forward, the international market is extremely. We really don't know which way it's going to go in terms of steel prices after the tariffs that the US government has put on China, and how they will respond in terms of their currency as well as dumping into other markets. So I think steel prices are going to remain weak going forward. But I think at current levels, maybe he can hold and look for a bounce if he wants to switch or review. So it's a hold.
It's a hold on sale. All right. I promised that I would take this question yesterday, and this is a question from Prakash. It's a specific question about a 2 lakh deployment of funds, Shahina, and he's looking at a couple of companies. Allied, one sec, let me just pull this up. Allied Digital is the name of the counter that we're talking about, or Cyient. So it's either or that he's talking about, and since it's a large amount, let me go across to you. So Allied, if I'm not mistaken, Allied Digital posted its numbers. I can't recall just off the bat, but if you've looked at this company, would you say that it's a good buy, or would you prefer Cyient?
Allied Digital is doing very well, both in terms of the numbers are very good at it, and also I think in terms of the future going forward, as well as whatever guidance that was there, it looks pretty good. So Allied Digital definitely looks good. Cyient, it's slightly expensive compared to the rest of the IT pack, but IT is also in favor. But between the two, I would prefer Allied Digital, but Cyient also, if you're a long-term investor, you could continue to hold it.
Okay, all right. I believe we've got a next caller. Adi is calling us from Hyderabad and asking about a company called Innova Captab. I'm going to try and pull this up as we speak. Hi, Adi. What's attracted you about this company?
I want to enter into the pharma sector, and this stock has corrected over 20% in the last 1 month. So I wanted to check if it has good fundamentals and I can buy it now.
Okay, but why this particular company? And you have so many other CDMO names, for example, that are up and about, and it's buzzing right now. Why this particular company? 5,450 odd crore market cap company. APIs, it has certain other formulations as well. It is essentially a manufacturing intermediate. Why do you like this company?
It has good growth in the last 1 year, and it seems it has the last Q3 results were also good.
I must confess that I have not seen the numbers. Shahina, I wonder if you have. The stock is under pressure today, 5.5% lower. If not this one though, which would you pick in the pharma space?
Well, it's a very expensive stock. While there seems to be a lot of buying in the small cap, so I think some people know more than one first. But at the same time, I think if you look at pure numbers in terms of valuations, it looks extremely expensive for the medium term. So I believe that would be one of the reasons why you could see the correction that's coming up. And also, if you saw the last quarter numbers, they seem to be pretty flattish. So in terms of growth, we need to understand why the numbers are not. Why the valuation being so expensive, the growth is not coming in. So I would say for the shorter term to medium term, you could exit. If you're a long-term investor, there seems to be some momentum going on.
Okay. I have a few people that are asking me to text them the recommendations from the analyst. I cannot do that. You need to watch the show. All right. The next question is from Vinay, who's writing in from Hyderabad, and he's bought Star Health at a price of 510 rupees, and he's looking at a 1 year time frame. The stock is currently trading at 438, so he is incurring a loss right now. Kush, what would you say about this on the charts? Would you hold on?
Well, Alex, not a very encouraging, setup. Even if I look at it from, a medium-term perspective, I think he's tried to bottom fish when the stock actually fell close to those 500, 510 levels. But mind you, the stock's actually been falling from 650 odd. And after a brief period of consolidation around the 500 mark, the stock actually given way. Again, here too, we are seeing some recovery underway, but that is more so from the oversold territories that the stock had actually approached, from a near-term perspective. My suggestion, if you want to hold, take the near-term bottom, which is close to the 425 mark, not too far away from the current price as your stop loss. If that is hit, then you're looking at a further downside, perhaps even a below 400 kind of a price. So with a very strict stop loss and maybe a slightly more loss than you're incurring right now, giving yourself a chance, 425 as a stop loss, continue to hold. If that breaks, then you exit. The setup is, as I said, not very encouraging. So don't look to average or anything, but just continue to hold with a tight stop loss at 425.
So that's the view. A hold right now. Don't be very aggressive is the view on Star Health. Ravi is calling us from Hyderabad. Hi Ravi, how can we help you today?
Very good morning to all of you.
Good morning to you as well.
Yeah, just I have a query regarding Tata Power.
Okay.
So is it good time to buy Tata Power? And my time horizon is around 6 to 8 months. I can hold for 6 to 8 months.
Okay, so 6 to 8 months. So basically on the pricing, I will go back to you, Kush, on this one. Posted its results earlier in the week, and at least fundamentally, it was a beat on the EBITDA margin front, and the PAT number was better than expected as well. But on the charts, I heard somebody this morning, I cannot recall who, that had a buy recommendation based on the charts. Do you think that it's looking positive as well?
It's starting to turn positive, Alex. Again, not a very aggressive buy on this one. I think one of the reasons for turning constructive on this one is that it's the third session that the stock is holding up above the 20-day moving average, which typically tends to be the first test, of any kind of recovery that is underway. So yes, you can consider buying. The risk reward ratio is extremely favorable, especially given the time frame that he has. What I would suggest is buy this, but with a tight stop loss near the 350 mark. That's where the stock has taken support multiple times. Now on the upside, you're looking at targets of 385, and once that is taken out, perhaps even a 400 plus kind of a level as well. So the risk reward ratio is quite attractive. For the last month or so, the stock actually holding ground, in fact gaining some ground. So there are positives to this one. So purely from the fact that the stock's actually now attempting this recovery, and it's got a good base in place with a stop loss around the 350 mark, not a bad idea for this kind of a risk reward ratio for him to go ahead and buy this.
Okay, all right. So it's positive view on Tata Power that Kush has. Let's talk about the next one. We've got Chandan Jain from Hubli, Karnataka, who's writing in about a company called KRN Heat Exchanger. He's got an allocation during the IPO. He's wondering whether to hold or book profit. By the way, in case you were wondering about this company, it is in fact in the business of supplying heat exchangers and related thermal solutions. If you were wondering about what that is, it's a company that caters to sectors such as oil and gas, as well as chemical processing and power generation, as well as refrigeration. Interesting space that it's currently playing in, and the stock is up about 10% or so as things stand right now. Shahina, if you had a view on the IPO, and if somebody's got an allocation, would you book right now or would you hold for the long term?
Well, I don't have a view on it, but there seems to be a lot of buying coming into the stock. That's all I can say.
Okay, I'm pretty sure that Kush is not going to have a view on this. Kush, am I right?
Fairly limited data, but as Shaina said, that the trajectory from a near-term perspective looks upwards.
Okay, all right. So unfortunately, we can't get you a view on this. I will have to circle back at some point and see if we can get you a view on that later. But we've got our next caller, Nikhil Thakre. Okay, you got to get the spelling right so that I can get the name right. Nikhil, is that how you say your name? Nikhil Thakre?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Nikhil Thakre.
Okay.
Good morning to all of you.
Good morning.
My
where
question
in Maharashtra are you tuning in from first, Nikhil?
I'm from Yavatmal.
Yavatmal. Okay, fantastic.
Yes.
How can I help you today?
Yeah, I have bought ABB Electronics at 290, around 1,000 shares. So I just have to know that shall I hold it, or is there something that I can, sell it?
Hold or sell on BEL.
Yes.
Why did you buy though? What was the reason?
I have, go with the analysis that the Q3 is good as far as the last concern, and the fundamentals I have taken it very good. That is the reason I have,
Very good reasons, but how long can you hold, Nikhil? What was the idea when you bought?
I can hold it, for the at least 2 months or 3 months, but I just wanted to know, is there something, fluctuate or the that the fluctuation will get correct in meanwhile or not.
Okay, fair point. All right. So you're looking for a view on the technicals. Kush, I'm
Right.
coming back to you on BEL. The stock is currently trading below the buy price at 283, but it's very close. What are the prospects on the charts?
So I think the stock that Nikhil has picked is the right one in this space, because
Spelling
a lot of other
wrong
names, so if you see the other stocks, then they have not actually had the kind of stability that BEL has. But from a 2 to 3 month perspective, I'm afraid the stock actually lacks momentum and has resistances near the 295 and about 305 kind of zones. So while it's not a very deep loss and the structure is not too bad, I would suggest 275 as a stop loss. And once the stock comes close to your buying price or maybe slightly above, Nikhil, it's not a bad idea to exit. Just because from a 2 to 3 month perspective, I think you're looking mainly towards momentum, and this stock for the last 6 odd months or so has actually lacked that. So you may not perhaps incur a loss. 275 is the stop loss that you keep, and close to your buying price or just above it might not be a bad idea to exit.
All right. We've got our next caller from Chennai. Shankar is calling us. Hi, Shankar. HDFC Life is what you want to know about? Shankar, can you hear me? Okay, we'll try and get Shankar back. In the meanwhile, let's talk about Vishal Mega Mart. Sharath from Bengaluru is asking about this, and he's bought 235 shares at an average price of 86. Can he accumulate more at the current market price is the question. And since he hasn't specified a time frame, Kush, I'm coming back to you on this one. He's in the green right now. He's bought at levels of, as I said, 86 rupees. Would you add more at the current juncture?
Again, Alex, fairly recent listing, so maybe I could toss it over to Shaina.
Shaina, any view on this one?
Well, he can wait for that, but I believe they are likely to do better because their balance sheet, they've raised funds, so the balance sheet seems to be pretty strong as of now. But I also have very limited info on this.
Point. All right. So no recommendation at this juncture, unfortunately, on Vishal Mega Mart. Let's slip into a very quick break. We've got more on the other side. Shaina, Kush, do stay with us. We've got more questions for you. Viewers, do stay tuned.
भाषण सुना उसके बाद मेरा पहला एक्रोनिम निकाला मैंने, वो था RRR, रिस्पॉन्सिबल, रिफॉर्मिस्ट, और मैंने कहा रिवॉल्यूशनरी। हाउ डिड यू अराइव एट दिस नंबर ऑफ 12 लाख रुपीस?
हमें लगता है टैक्स पेयर उस लेवल नंबर से टैक्स भर रहा है, क्या उनको हम कुछ कर सकते हैं?
प्राइवेट सेक्टर कैपेक्स अभी तक वो इन्वेस्ट क्यों नहीं कर रहे हैं, जबकि आपका इकोनॉमिक सर्वे ही बताता है कि वो कैश पाइल पे बैठे हुए हैं।
अगर कंजम्पशन बढ़ता और उसके तहत लगता है कि ग्रेटर इन्वेस्टमेंट का पॉसिबिलिटी है, वो भी अच्छा ट्रिगर हो सकता है।
एआई बहुत तेजी से आ रहा है, तो जॉब के चैलेंजेस होंगे, स्किल के चैलेंज पहले से हैं, तो जो ट्रांजिशन पीरियड का स्ट्रगल है, नौकरी मुझे अभी चाहिए।
पूरे साल का एक्सपोजर दिलाने के लिए हम इंटर्नशिप प्रोग्राम ले आए, और इसके साथ साथ इस बजट में भी ट्रेनिंग फॉर एआई, इसके लिए सेंटर्स बनाए हैं।
And the reason for the success of the restaurant this magnitude, because people felt भाई का जिगर है, business नहीं है। This is our time to not bend down to their accents and their foods and glorify it. It is our time to lift our own cuisine, our own culture.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Toughest person to cater for, to cook for, President Trump, Prime Minister Modi, या शाहरुख खान?
मेरा दिल जिसके पास है, शाहरुख खान।
You tweeted recently after President Trump won the election that can I make something for you?
So एक तरह की खिचड़ी है जिसमें आप मिक्स्ड मिलेट्स डालते हैं।
आपको ट्रम्प साहब को खिचड़ी खिलानी है?
हाँ, तो खिचड़ी खाना नहीं है।
What is the one vegetable you will never eat?
मैंने मेथी खानी बंद कर दिया है।
मतलब आप करेला, बैंगन ऐसा?
I love करेलास। चला चला पटकन पटकन.
Hello and welcome to NDTV Profit.
The blessings of Ma Lakshmi that Prime Minister spoke about, will they shine on the middle class and the taxpayer?
The market will not be disappointed.
Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman with the Bahi Khata, they're getting ready to go in and present the budget.
I present the budget for 25-26 that there will be no income tax payable up to income of 12 lakh rupees.
ये बजट जो है बहुत ही RRR है. इसका मतलब ये हुआ कि रिफॉर्मिस्ट भी है, रिस्पॉन्सिबल भी है और रिवॉल्यूशनरी भी है.
जब मैं था तब हरी नहीं, जब हरी है मैं ना ही, प्रेम गली अति साकरी जामे दो न समाए.
This is another level. This is
how a special Saturday session should end.
First of all, they're looking at, how to sort of reduce the number of slabs which is there in custom, which is like 12 or 13 slab, and how to bring it down to 5 or 6.
As a part of comprehensive review of customs rate structure announced in July 2024 budget, I propose to 1. Remove 7 tariff rates. This is over and above the 7 tariff rates removed in 23-24 budget. After this, there will be only 8 remaining tariff rates, including 0 rate.
Do you really know the company you invested? What's the picture behind presentations and claims?
Welcome back. You're watching Ask Profit, and in case you're tuning in for the first time, this is a show that gets you answers to all of your stock-related questions. To that end, you can call us on the number at the bottom of your screen, which is the landline number, or you can message us on that WhatsApp number that is on the top of the screen. The first question on this side of the break is from Akhilesh, who's writing in from Ajmer in Rajasthan, and he's got a question about Hindustan Aeronautics, which he's bought at a price of 3,907. He's got 163 shares. Kush, it's interesting. He's saying he's just waiting for a small target of 4,250. Nothing too much to ask for. Is that something that you expect to happen very quickly on the charts?
I'm afraid not. I'm afraid not. Although I must say that he's being very realistic in his expectations and very realistic in his targets, and that is also perhaps a rare thing to find in the market like this. But look, the stock has made a double bottom formation around the 3,500 mark. You're seeing a bit of a bump, but the 20-day moving average seems to be acting as a resistance. Around this price itself, around the 38.50 mark. If and when that is taken out, I think 4,000, it's pretty much on the cards as the next target, 39.75. So, I'm rounding it off to 4,000. But not sure, because the stock had a bit of a resistance. In any case, since the loss on this one is not too deep, my suggestion would be to continue holding on to this one with the stop loss near the 3,700 mark and give himself a shot at 4,000.
Okay, shot at 4,000, not 4,200 plus. All right, but it pays to, at this juncture in this market, to keep your expectations under control. Manoj from Delhi is calling in asking about signed DLM. Good morning, Manoj. How can we help you today?
Hey, hi sir. I have a question regarding signed DLM, and I bought it last July at a price of 820, and I keep on averaging this stock, and right now I am at a loss of 35,000, close to, and I bought 142 shares at a price of 712.48 after averaging, and right now I am at a loss, so I'm not sure what I should do. I should hold it because since last July I'm already holding it.
Let me understand. So you've got a substantial holding, and what I'm trying to understand, Manoj, is this one of the only stocks that you own, or is this a small part of your portfolio?
Yeah, it is just a small part of the portfolio. Okay. So it is among the. I have 20 stocks in my portfolio, and it is.
Okay, so point well made. Let me go across to Shahina on the fundamentals. Shahina, I can't recall exactly, and I haven't been able to pull up the numbers, but if I remember correctly, this stock reacted immediately after earnings, and it wasn't a good set of numbers, if I'm not mistaken. Would you say that you should hold on though, and where would you put the stop loss?
Yeah, it's a small cap and EMS space, which is very interesting for signed DLM to be, for an investor to continue to hold for the long term. In the current year, it was expected actually. They had certain acquisitions they made last year, because of which the write-offs continue on and will continue even for the next quarter. So if you're a short-term investor, I don't think you can look forward to see any jump up in turnover, profits, etc. But I think FY26 is well. You're likely to see the earnings accretive. All the additions, everything will come in force, and it will be earnings accretive. They have got a number of new logos that they have added on, all of which will start reflecting into the year going forward. If you look at a long-term basis, like say 3 years down the line, then the valuations at current levels look quite decent. So I would say you can continue to hold, and maybe in fact, in my view, over the next quarter, not right away, you could also in the next couple of months look to average it out, because I think FY26 is going to be a very interesting year.
Okay. All right. Hope that answers your question. The next question we're taking is on a company called Carraro India, and it is a company that was incorporated in 1997 from what I can see on the screen, and it is a manufacturer of axles and transmission systems for agricultural tractors and construction vehicles. The question is from Ravi Chandran, who's writing in from Bengaluru, and he's bought at a price of 535, which is not too far from the current market price. He's saying that he wants to hold for about 2 years. That's the interpretation that I have. So is it something that you've tracked, Shaina, and on the fundamentals, would you hold on?
Yeah, again, this is a new listing. I don't really track new listings that closely.
Okay, fair point. So, but let me ask you this then. In the automotive space and in the specific pocket that he's looking to play on, which is an automotive ancillary company that is catering to the commercial vehicle space and the agri equipment space, that is the tractor space. What looks attractive to you?
Well, you could look on declines at Sona BMW. I think that looks interesting. Minda Corp also is another stock that looks pretty interesting in terms of the opportunity as well as the new products that they are actually adding on to their portfolio. Also in the EV space, so I would look at those two if you're looking at auto and space.
Okay, all right. So no specific view on Carraro, but then we've given you, or Shahina has given you, I shouldn't take credit for that, Shahina has given you some ideas on what you can invest in. Sudhakar is calling us from Hyderabad. Sudhakar, hi, good morning. How can we help you today?
Good morning.
Please go ahead.
I have got Caplin Point Lab.
Okay.
It's 1990. I had been accumulating over last 2 months. In fact, I'm a long-term investor. I had been holding Ready Labs for the last 20 years. That's why I got some crazy towards pharmaceutical sector.
Right.
How is it technically and fundamentally, sir? Can I know about this, sir?
Sir, you're putting me in a tough position because I've promised people that I'll take only one or the other. So which one would you want, technical or fundamental?
I would like to have my view on Caplin Point.
I get that, sir, but you have to choose either technical or fundamental.
Okay, technically, I would like to have the.
Okay, all right, Kush. So he's in the green. 2,179 is the current market price. 1,990 is the buy price. I don't think he's in a hurry to sell. So from that perspective, what is the upside potential that you see on the charts?
Well, it's not a bad buy. 1700, 1800 thereabouts is where the stock has made a double bottom after a brief round of recovery. The stock is seeing, or rather fall, the stock is seeing a goodish bit of recovery. This is one that I would continue to hold, albeit with my buying price as my trailing stop loss now. On the upside, the first level that I'm looking at is actually 2300. Once that is taken out, you're looking at a 2475 kind of a move as well. The stock is starting to show signs of a bottom formation in place, where the volumes on the downside are thinning, and on the days when the stock is higher, you're seeing a good delivery markup jump in volumes. So as I said, for targets of 2300, 2475, continue to hold Caplin Point. In fact, you could actually go ahead and accumulate also some, as I always prefer, buying on the higher side than averaging on the lower side.
Okay, all right. Federal Bank, I'm coming back to you on this one. Kush, this is a question from Shailesh, and Shailesh has bought 5,000 shares and he's bought at a price of 183 rupees per share. He's wondering whether it will reach 192 by the end of the month, and there is a pretty long duration for that to play out, or break below the 178 mark. Specific questions and specific levels that he's looked at.
I actually love this. I love the clarity that he has in terms of his entry, his exit points both on the downside and the upside. So kudos on that. 178, 179. I think he's decided that as a stop loss. So continue holding on to this one with that as a stop loss. 192 seems a bit of a stretch. The reason being that most of the, as I said, stocks that are in the banking space have moved, but this has not participated, and that's not a good sign. Also, there are multiple averages converging near the 180 to 189 zone, so that could act as a bit of a resistance. So the 190 mark, that could act as a bit of a resistance. So any move closer to 188, I would take as an opportunity to exit partially and maybe then continue holding on the rest for 192. But yes, the level that is decided on the downside, 178, that acts as a stop loss. But 188 is the first pit stop where I would offload some of these, some of the quantity.
All right, so that's a comprehensive view on Federal Bank. Sundara is calling us from Tirupati. Hi, Sundara, how can we help you today?
Yeah, hi, good morning.
Good morning.
Actually, I would like to know about that Adidas stock, IRTA. I bought this stock 7 months ago.
Okay.
And shares. At the 260 price.
Okay.
So now, can I hold or it means it's getting continuously down and it's been consolidating zone only.
Yes.
So I would like to know that further.
Yeah, no, it's an understandable question, considering that you bought at elevated levels, Sundara. There's no hiding from that. But what is the time frame that you had? Did you have a long-term view?
I need this at least 1 or 2 months. Can I expect any moves for this one?
Okay, 1 or 2 months is a very short time frame. I must point that out, and a lot of factors can play out. But let me still go back to Kush on this one. Kush, do you have enough data on this one? 260 is the buy price, and what would you say is the upside potential at this stage?
Alex, I have rather sufficient data, but I'm afraid it's not looking so pretty. The weekly charts for this one suggest a descending triangle, and that's not a good pattern, where the base actually is coming close to the 183 to 185 zone, which indicates that a break down below this level could actually take the stock much lower, perhaps even as low as 165, 170. So I would be very cautious on this one. I'm not sure if in the 1 or 2 month time frame that he's looking at, he will be able to see his buying price also. Nonetheless, keep a very tight stop loss near the 185 to 183 zone. If that is breached, I think you're better off exiting, even if it is a bit of a loss. So apologies for being the bearer of bad news on this one, but that's the kind of setup that the stock has.
Yeah, and I'd prefer the truth to anything else, even if you are a bearer of bad news. We've got the next caller, Vishwas from Bengaluru, is calling us. Vishwas, good morning. How can we help you today?
Hi, good morning. I'm Vishwas from Bangalore, as you said. So I have Tata Steel shares of quantity 282, and I have bought it at a price of 122. So I just want to know the upside potential of this stock for short term and near term and for long term?
Oh, okay, short term, near term, and long term. Okay, Kush, then you've got your work cut out for you on the charts. What would you suggest are the key levels to watch out for?
Well, from a short-term perspective, I think the stock will, perhaps meet resistance around the 135 mark. From a medium-term perspective, I think 150 is the level to watch for. But I think from a long-term perspective, this stock is actually entering a good accumulation zone. You're seeing a good amount of base formation and a recovery underway. So anywhere from about 12 to 18 months or beyond, I think the stock has the potential to hit 160 and higher levels. So there you go. I hope I've answered for all the three time frames that you were looking for.
Did indeed. We've got Gayatri who's writing in and asking about ABB, and this is a stock that is seeing quite wild gyrations over the course of the last couple of weeks. Of course, the numbers came out, if I remember correctly, last week. I think I'm right. And the stock reacted very positively. The order book standing at over 18,000 crore rupees and looks very, very strong. And the numbers for the quarter also were pretty good. The question is, would you buy right now for the short term relatively for 1 year? And I know that it's a short term, but I'm still going to go across to you, Shaina, on the fundamentals, because this is a stock that a lot of people have tracked. And the question is, are the valuations too stretched for there to be considerable upside over the next 1 year?
I would believe the valuations are extremely stretched. If you're looking at the short-term period, they are getting, good valuations because of the parentage, the MNC parentage that they have. I would say if you want to add, you can only you should do that at lower levels. I would say, somewhere close to about 5,400, 5,450 would be better levels to add it.
Okay, all right. So that's a view on ABB. A lot of these stocks, by the way, have done incredibly well, but be wary, be cautious about the valuations. Shweta is calling us from Gurgaon. Hi, Shweta. How can we help you today?
Yeah, hi. I have a query regarding share. I have 31 shares at the price of 586.
Okay, can I confirm that you're... Yeah, Synoris. Right. Sorry, I was going to tell you that.
Pharma.
Okay.
Yeah.
What is the time frame that you have, Shweta?
I bought it for short-term gain only on the day of its IPO opening.
Okay.
So today, it is doing well. Shall I hold it for some more time because there is good volume on the share today?
So because it's something that you bought in IPO, and I don't think there's going to be enough in the way of data. I'm going to have to go across to Shahina on this one. Shahina, would you suggest booking out at this juncture? It's a very small profit. Would you book?
Well, I would say it is very small also in terms of turnover and profits. It's a small cap. So I have no clue. I will pass the question.
Okay. Unfortunately, Shweta, I cannot give you a view on this one because we don't have enough data to give you a technical view. But is there any other stock that you want to know about?
Yeah, actually.
Please go
ahead. Okay, I have this Bharat Electronics, BEL share. I have 71 shares bought at an average price of 289.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you have a long-term view on this one?
Long-term I want to hold. What should be my target price on this?
Understood. Okay, so let me go to you on this one then. BEL on the long-term fundamentals. What's the view here, Shaina?
Yeah, so I think it's a good hold at current levels. Please hold it for the longer term. Don't book profits or losses in the shorter term. I would say hold it for a target of close to about 320, but hold it for maybe 2 to 3 years. There is actually a very strong order book that the company has. It is more than 3 times their current order book is more than 3 times their current turnover. They're getting very good orders going forward, so continue to hold. It's a good stock to hold in your portfolio.
Okay. The next question is a shorter term question, and this one's for you, Kush. Tushar is writing in from Mumbai, and he's asking about Network 18, which he's bought at levels of 77 rupees, 550 shares, and he's looking to hold for a maximum of 3 to 4 months. So he's incurring a loss right now. What should his strategy be?
So again, a very mild kind of a recovery, not something meaningful and very volume backed. So I would have a bit of a caution on the recovery. The buying price is fairly high, 77. So with a stop loss around the 48 mark, I will continue to hold. But I would actually look for exit opportunities closer to the 58 mark as the first level, and then perhaps 65. That is if at all the stock actually gets there. So better strategy would be to start with a stop loss at 48 and keep trailing the stop loss higher. From a near-term perspective, 1 to 2 months, maybe a little higher. Perhaps 65 is the best, that I see the stock headed to, unless, something dramatically positive comes out.
Okay. All right. The next one is coming in from Satya. He's writing in from Hyderabad. Another banking stock that is being asked about. Canara Bank is the name of the counter. 113 is the buy price and has been holding for the last 4 months. Can they continue to hold or add another 1,000 at the current levels for the long term? And this is for a period of 2 years. So incurring a loss right now, but willing to hold and willing to add, in fact. Is this the best prospect according to you in the space, Shaina, on the fundamentals?
Actually, Canara Bank has done pretty well even in terms of numbers. They are doing better going forward in terms of the balance sheet quality also improving. I would say yes, you can hold, and you can hold. You could look to add, but add at slightly lower levels. For the short term, looks like there is a correction going on. I would say if you want to add, you can add close to about 85, 90 levels. That should be decent, and hold it for the medium to longer term.
Okay. All right. We've got our next caller. We've got Kashyap calling us from Andhra Pradesh. Hi, Kashyap. Morning. How can we help you today?
Yes, sir. Very good morning, sir.
Good morning. Please go ahead.
I'm a big fan of Mr. Kush. Yeah, the way he smiles and answers the queries. We are getting very happy by seeing him every day. Sir, my question is regarding Kaynes Technologies. I have 28 shares with me. My average price is 3,617 rupees, sir. Now I'm at the profit of 12,748 rupees.
19,000, right? 19,800.
12,000, sir. 12,748 rupees, actually.
Okay, you should actually go and look at the price again, sir, because you have a profit of nearly 20,000 rupees. Anyway, what is the point? Sir. What is the question?
Yeah, my point is, can I accumulate more, or can I exit and go for another Genser technologies like that?
Okay, and your time frame is less than 1 year?
Yeah, I'm a long-term base. Actually, I'm looking for long-term.
Long-term, all right. So more than 1 year. What's the prospect? He's making profits, Kush, and he's also very appreciative of your smile. Why don't you give us one and give us your answer as well?
Thank you so much, Kashyap. I'm sure Alex would also agree, and you've made my day, his too, because his show. But thank you so much for thanks so much for those kind words. Always make it a part to smile no matter what the market does, right? So again, made my day. I think for the stock, as far as Kaynes Tech goes, the prospects don't look too bright, even from a year's perspective right now, because as China would concur, the stock is still overvalued on fundamentals, but it's actually slipped below the 200-day moving average, which is not a very healthy sign for any stock. Recovery, is fizzling out. Since you are in a profit, I'm sure a significant portion of that has been wiped out. But nonetheless, there is profit. Not a bad idea to perhaps exit Kaynes Tech at the moment. And since you were so sweet, I'll take up your second question as well. Alex normally doesn't allow, but Gensol Engineering, that too is actually seeing a bit of a drubbing. There is a bottom formation attempt at place, but I wouldn't venture a preemptive trade just yet. What you could do is actually wait for this one. If the stock actually moves above 750, that's when this recovery will be confirmed and you can go ahead and buy. So don't buy right now. Buy it slightly higher, but once you have a confirmation that yes, the recovery is well underway.
Okay, viewers, don't take this as a reason to compliment Kush and get him to answer more questions. That's not how it works on this program. Larsen & Toubro is the name of the counter that we're talking about next, and in fact, Kundan has bought at a price of 3,100. Should he hold or sell? It's interesting, and I know that he's not specified a time frame, but he's in the green and he's making a decent profit. Shaina, on the fundamentals, it actually did pretty well. It did really well, if I remember correctly. And the expectation is that the capex push in the new year, and I know that the numbers overall were less than perhaps the street was expecting from the center, but a lot of people have pointed out that you should look at the center plus the states plus the PSU. So it's not like the capex story is going away. Would you hold on to this?
Yeah, you can hold, and at dips declines you could also add, because as you mentioned, while the capex was the amount that they have projected was a bit disappointing, but having said that, we are going to see a pickup, because in the first couple of months the capex was not as good as one would have estimated because of elections, etc. But now it is picking up, and L&T is fundamentally a good stock to have in your portfolio. You could hold at current levels, but if you want to add, you can add it at dips. You could add it close to about 3,230 types, and then hold it for the medium to long term with a target of 3,800.
Okay, hold with a target of 3,800. Any view, Kush, very quick view on Sun Pharma Advanced Research, and this is a question from Nagaraj. He's bought at levels of 300, I think. Any view?
The stock could actually see a rebound from the oversold territories, but overall, I think the pressure on this stock could very well persist for some more time going forward. If you have a position, then your stop loss comes in very close to the 140, 145 kind of zone. But other than that, I think the stock could actually remain under pressure for some time. Perhaps you'll see a dead cat bounce, but that should be about it.
Okay. Please suggest a solution for Heritage Foods and Style Bazaar. I'm going to choose one of the two. Satya from Thrissur is asking, Heritage Foods is seeing a decline of 20% on his buy price. What should he do? He's got a 1-year time frame. Shaina, any advice that you have for him?
I personally hold also on this stock. I have recommended it in the past, and I believe in terms of valuations, it's extremely attractive if you look at any parameters, especially if you look at the market cap, turnover to market cap. They have done pretty well in terms of their numbers. They're adding new products. So I would say hold on. And in fact, I would say you could also take this opportunity to average.
Take the opportunity to add, in fact, is the view on Heritage Foods. It's time to hit the rapid fire segment. And this, remember, Shaina and Kush, is where we throw as many questions as possible at you over the course of 2 minutes. Do answer as quickly as you can. Vatek Wabag is the name of the counter. And we've got a question from Madan, who's writing from Hyderabad. He's looking to hold for the next 3 months to see some profits. He's holding at levels of 1550. Should he continue to hold, Kush?
Continue to hold, stop loss at 1280.
Skipper results came out overnight, or rather last evening. We've got Sunita, who's holding at levels of 490 rupees a piece. Would you suggest holding or should you exit China?
Hold. It's a hold.
Hold. All right. Shrikant wants to know about Birla Soft, and he's got at price of 450. He's looking to hold for 5 years. Would you suggest a hold, China?
It's a hold.
Okay. Map My India, this is the name of the counter, and Vijeen wants to know, he bought at levels of essentially CE Info Systems, right? So 2,155 is the buy price, so losing considerable ground. View for 2 years. Shahina, what's the view?
I would say you can look to switch.
To what?
Maybe you can look to switch in some ID stock. I would say like TCS looks good.
Kaynes Tech is the name of the counter. We've got Parthsarthi, who's writing in from Hyderabad. Would you buy right now, Kush?
Yes, the stop loss on this one is slightly deep, close to the 1150 mark, and on the upside you're looking at 1350 and 1450, just to round it off. Yes, okay. I would buy.
Tata Consumer, pull that up quickly, Kush, if you can. This is a question coming from Eldo, who's writing from Cochin. He's bought at a price of 1,010. Would you sell or hold?
Exit.
Exit. Okay, give me enough time to pull this up as well. RCTC bought at a price of 868. Would you hold or sell, Shaina?
It's a hold.
All right. All right. So you both answered too quickly for even me. Posing a challenge for me also to pull up the questions. Thank you so much to the both of you for joining in, for answering all the questions that you did answer today. Pleasure having you. All right, that brings us to the end of this edition of Ask Profit. It's been an incredible pleasure bringing you this program, and hopefully this has been useful to you. Do stay tuned, lots more coming up on NDTV Profit.
भाषण सुना उसके बाद मेरा पहला एक्रोनिम निकाला मैंने, वो था RRR, रिस्पॉन्सिबल, रिफॉर्मिस्ट, और मैंने कहा रिवॉल्यूशनरी। हाउ डिड यू अराइव एट दिस नंबर ऑफ 12 लाख रुपीस?
हमें लगता है टैक्स पेयर उस लेवल नंबर से टैक्स भर रहा है, क्या उनको हम कुछ कर सकते हैं?
प्राइवेट सेक्टर कैपेक्स अभी तक वो इन्वेस्ट क्यों नहीं कर रहे हैं, जबकि आपका इकोनॉमिक सर्वे ही बताता है कि वो कैश पाइल पे बैठे हुए हैं।
अगर कंजम्पशन बढ़ता और उसके तहत लगता है कि ग्रेटर इन्वेस्टमेंट का पॉसिबिलिटी है, वो भी अच्छा ट्रिगर हो सकता है।
एआई बहुत तेजी से आ रहा है, तो जॉब के चैलेंजेस होंगे, स्किल के चैलेंज पहले से हैं, तो जो ट्रांजिशन पीरियड का स्ट्रगल है, नौकरी मुझे अभी चाहिए।
पूरे साल का एक्सपोजर दिलाने के लिए हम इंटर्नशिप प्रोग्राम ले आए, और इसके साथ साथ इस बजट में भी ट्रेनिंग फॉर एआई, इसके लिए सेंटर्स बनाए हैं।
चला चला पटकान पटकान।
Hello and welcome to NDTV Profit.
The blessings of Ma Lakshmi that Prime Minister spoke about, will they shine on the middle class and the taxpayer?
The market will not be disappointed.
Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman with the Bahi Khata, they're getting ready to go in and present the budget.
I present the budget for 25-26 that there will be no income tax payable up to income of 12 lakh rupees.
ये बजट जो है बहुत ही RRR है। इसका मतलब ये हुआ कि रिफॉर्मिस्ट भी है, रिस्पॉन्सिबल भी है और रिवॉल्यूशनरी भी है।
जब मैं था तब हरी नहीं, जब हरी है मैं ना ही, प्रेम गली अति साकरी, जामे दो न समाए।
This is another level. This is another level.
This is how a special Saturday session should end.
Sources telling us is that government is expected to provide a roadmap of the next phase of national monetization pipeline, where they are going to set a higher target for the next fiscal onwards.
Building on the success of the first asset monetization plan announced in 2021, the second plan for 2025 to 30 will be launched to plow back capital of 10 lakh crore in new projects.
Do you really know the company you invest in? What's the picture behind presentations and claims? Is the outlook as rosy as the company claims? Know your company, powered by NDTV Profits Research, shines a light on the biggest stock market movers. Know your company at 11:30 a.m. Monday through Friday, only on NDTV Profit.
Headlines you start your day with. What matters worldwide is now in the palm of your hands. Get ready to seize the day and maximize your financial potential. Stay ahead of the curve with all you need to know on NDTV Profit.
Hello and welcome to KYC, a show designed to give regular investors powerful, actionable insights into the fundamentals of a single NSE-listed company every single day. We're taking a look at Niva Bupa today. This is the health insurance company which announced its earnings just a few days ago. And we've seen some volatility come through, and we thought that would be a good idea to take this one up, especially given that we have the opportunity to talk to the management as well. Now, in terms of health insurance, it's the third largest player. It's only smaller than New India Assurance, which is, of course, the largest, followed by Star Healthcare.